Okay, let me walk you through this tracking system. So it's a basic tracking system. Let's just run Django. Okay, so back end it's Django with Django channels. Yeah. So let me see if I can walk you through. I'll walk you through the code base a lot later. But the basic gist of it is track, right? Track app. So track app right now we have devices, device locations, and geofences. Trips I just turned it off right now. And the UI for it's not really, but the heart of this app, the heart of this application, it's these three right here. Everything else is just sort of peripheral and sort of plugs into that. So yeah, come right here and reload. Okay, this is Vue.js. The UI is built using Vue.js. Let's come here and let's run that. Should I run it from here? I think it's already, yeah. Okay, we'll let that load. Okay, that's done. Just come here and reload. Okay, so this Vue app connects to the API. So there's two protocols. Just HTTP, right? We do our get, post, put, delete, and so on and so forth. Basic CRUD functions, or the basic HTTP requests. And then for tracking, for the live tracking, I actually use WebSockets, right? So you upgrade a HTTP request to WebSocket after you've logged in. So that sort of happens in the back. So yeah, thanking Vuex for that. Okay, next I have my devices. So this device right here, then I've got this device right here. So you can see the location of device, latitude, longitude, and the address, right? The speed at which it's traveling at also. So most of these attributes like speed, right? Speed, it's sort of constant. Let me see if I can show you why I say that. Coming down here, right? Coming down here, speed is 60. So that's how I've actually managed to populate the database with the streams. So if you were using if you had an actual tracker, right? And let's say you deploy the system online, you would simply send the latitude and longitude, the speed, and satellite count, right? And plugged into this system, you'll be able to see all of that data right here. Obviously, like packages right now is just a totally different thing. You can always change that, maybe have an employee or car and so on and so forth. That's one, right? So that's the first part. So the second part is geofences, right? So there's little red shapes all over the map. Right. Got this one in Fernahang, and then we got this one in the middle of close to nowhere. Yeah. That's one. I think I'll save another geofence somewhere down here. Yeah, click so. Yeah. One. Yeah, it's in click so. Cool. And there it is. So what I'm gonna do right now is to do a little emulation, right? I'll show you how the live tracking works, right? Let's do that. So on our trackers, on the tracking devices, right? Or on our virtual trackers, tracker representations, PRJ01. If I come to edit, you need to give like a device code, right? Each and every device will sort of need a device code, your MAC address, description, and maybe the type of package or the employee or the car that that tracker is actually tied to, and the geofence in which it's actually restricted to. So as you can see, I got test zone, home zone, and then click stop fence. So that's all we've got. Yeah, I can also delete a tracker, but right now, just to avoid complications or unnecessary drama, let's not do that. So in order to start a stream, you can come over here. Obviously you would be able to get all this data, but for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to take one little thing, one little attribute, and that's the UUID, right? Or the UID. So that's the current UID right there. And then, because I didn't have access to a tracker or a tracking device, I made a little, what would I call it? An emulator of a sort to emulate sort of a tracking device, or the data that you'd sort of be streaming from a tracker. So just put that device UID right here, right? But before I do that, I need to do this and show you what happens with the API. Yeah. And also explain to you how this little thing works if you don't get the gist already. So that's our device UID. And then, as soon as you change the device UID, it opens a connection, right? Opens the connection and connects to the API or the backend. Intervals, right? Intervals, this is, let's say, the amount of time between each and every stream or each and every broadcast or push, right? So it's 3 seconds. So we'll come over here. Yeah, let's make it 3 seconds for time's sake. So when I start this transmission, it will actually happen via the WebSocket connection. So then now, let's do this. Cool. All right. WS messages. So now I'll start this transmission. 3 seconds. There's one. There's a message, right? So this messages are being sent to the back end via WebSockets, and each and every device that's sort of subscribed, right, to a particular channel, that's also monitored by Django channels, they will have this actually updated on their view, right? So come over here, and it's TST001. So if you can see that TST001 is actually moving right there, right? So at the same time, while it's moving, right, location, latitude and longitude updated, right, and the address, right? So you just wait and see as the address updates after a while. Yeah, so it's gonna take a bit of a while, but that's how it's gonna work. Okay, there we go. Our address has been updated. So that's the basics, as the gist of how the system sort of works, right? So if you are streaming the speed, right, the speed would also be updated right there, as you know, the speed changes, or the speed that the device is traveling at actually changes, right? So that's just part of the system. Reports, I can also run the reports, right? So if I say PRJ001, right, and let me come to, let's say, from July to the end of August, right? See if we can render some reports on that. We'll do that, and there is our data, right? I can also say all, and we'll have that. So it's been a while since I've actually fired this thing up. So addresses with the reverse geocoding actually takes a bit of time. Or I think I need to renew the token, but yeah, the difference is the same. So for the moments when this device was out of the geofence, right, those transmissions or broadcasts, they get highlighted by this different color. So I decided to use yellow just for the sake. It was a more available color. It was a more available color, and everything else is in green. So this right here is it's a Vue.js data table. So that's one thing. Okay, so if I come back to this side, she's still streaming, right? She's still very much streaming. So as you're navigating in these views, right, and doing whatever you're taking care of, or doing whatever you're doing, you'll still be able to come back, right, and actually follow up on, or get the updated view on like what's actually going on, you know, and then yeah, you'll be done with that. We also decided to fit in sort of a staff management thing. So I've got managers, and then you sort of have drivers right there. And then some drivers, they actually have cars, right? Car, brand, model, year, registration, color, and fleet, right? So the cars are also in fleets. And this one doesn't have any, and this one's also this dude is in the primary fleet. So if I came over here and I said fleets, primary fleet, and then I have this car right here, right? And the manager of that fleet. Driver, there's the driver. You can sort of reassign the driver and just add another driver right there. And that would be one part. Home fleet, you have a caddy. And there's our car, right? Model and so on and so on and so forth. Driver is Mike, just like that. So those are our fleets. Geofences. Now with geofences, it's so fences. I have 3 fences, as I showed you a while ago. Test zone, that's my geofence. Home zone, there's the geofence right there. And click stop fence. There it is, right there. Okay, so if you click on this little feather right here, you'll be brought to this view where you'll be able to edit the geofence, or edit the fence rather. So let's say I decide to move this to there. Yeah, just take Broncos Bridge right now. Then we'll save those changes. Geofence updated. So this is test zone. And then my test zone fence is actually updated. If I come over here, okay, that stream is already done. You can always follow your streams. And then come over here, fences, show fences, test zone, and there's our zone. So that right there is just our proof of concept. I don't know if anybody has done this using Django and Django channels, but then I'm pretty sure that seeing that with Django channels you can build systems like real-time chat applications and so on and so on and so forth. This right here is pretty much a flawless or an easy implementation. So that's one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. My name is Ronald Timbenya. I am a computer science student and also a freelance web developer. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. So thank you very much, and see you when I do something else awesome. Thank you.